Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the different states I've been to in my entire lifetime. I am counting the one that I live in only because that is obviously a state, so I'm including that into my list. So that makes my list 7 states. I traveled to, I believe, South Carolina first when I think my uncle lived in South Carolina, or we took a family trip to South Carolina. I don't remember what town or city, but we went there, and I went with my parents, my 2 cousins, and I think I went with my uncles because my cousins were there too, so I'm sure like my uncles went there with us. It was a family trip, and it was, to my knowledge, really fun. I think I was like 5 or 6. I'm not too sure. I know I was like wicked young, not like infant young, but like young age. But I just have this vivid memory in South Carolina. I have a picture of it, but this is basically the picture. Me being right there, and those are my 2 cousins. But I had pigtails, and I remember from this day where I had pigtails, my cousin had pigtails, and my cousin, she got mad at me because I was copying her pigtails, and she got like wicked upset with me, but I still did it, and the trip was a lot of fun. I think I remember being in that shark mouth, or whatever that mouth is. I think it's a shark mouth, I'm not too sure, but I remember it being a lot of fun. This is literally the only memory I remember from this trip. So that's South Carolina, and then I went to North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. I want to say in 2016 or 17. That's what I want to say, 2016 or 17. It was for my sister's college graduation, because she got a full ride scholarship to a college, and she could choose from any location, and she chose Charlotte, North Carolina. So she moved there, and she went to college there full-time, worked there full-time. I think full-time, if not then part-time. But she got her own apartment, she got a dog over the years. So when it was time for her to graduate, me, my mom, and my dad drove to North Carolina. I think it was like a between 13 and 16-hour drive. And out of those hours, I only got like 2.5 hours of sleep, because I had even though I had the whole back seat to myself, it was very uncomfortable, and I could not sleep. My mom, on the other hand, she can sleep like anywhere. Like you put her in the front seat and she'll knock out, like no problem. And like both my parents can pretty much sleep anywhere, but especially my mom. But I can't. I have to sleep in like a house or an apartment or like a hotel. I can't sleep in anything moving, so I can't sleep in a car or anything. And the only transportation I've ridden in is a car. I've never been on a plane, I've never been on a boat, nothing like that, or a train, or even a subway, nothing. So it was really hard for me to sleep in the car. The only time I can ever sleep in the car is if, I don't know, I go to a play at like 7 o'clock at night, and then it lasts till, I want to say 10:30, maybe even 11, depending on when the show starts. But if I would have to be at a play and then go home, like whoever I'm with is driving us home, and I would knock out in the car sometimes, because for some reason sitting down and watching a play gets me tired, which doesn't make sense, because it's not like I'm at a concert where like I'm dancing around, you know? So that was other than me not being able to fall asleep, we caught up on sleep, and we went out to her graduation. We went out to take photos of her and family for the graduation, like outside in like a park somewhere. That was really fun. And then at night we like walked around different stores, because it's like a very like tiny town, not tiny town, but like the area that my sister was from was like everything was close to one another. It's like all the stores were close to each other. Basically anywhere you turned or walked to had some sort of like building or store or like restaurant. So that was really fun. The 3rd state I've been to is Florida, and this was, I don't know, I want to say 7, 8, I don't know. It was like a single digit age. Not too sure, but all I remember from that is driving there with my parents and my 2 sisters. I had to be like wicked young because they were young too. One of my sisters was turning 29, or she turned 29. Yeah, one of my sisters, I think, turned 29, and then my other sister's like mid-20s. I want to say like 24, 25, I'm not sure. I don't know, mid-20s. And I'm the youngest one, so if they were in their teens, like mid-teens, then I was like pretty young. I want to say like 8, 9, maybe even 10, I don't know. We drove down to Florida to visit my uncle, his wife, and my cousin. We had a lot of fun. All I remember is me bringing my bathing suit, us going to the public pool, and in our swimsuits and having fun. I think it was a strip, but I remember my grandparents being there, Von Vu. I think they flew there. I think my uncle paid for them to fly there, because obviously they're not gonna sit in the car the entire drive there, you know? So I just remember being at the public pool, and there was like this waterfall, like a short, like not like a big waterfall, but like you can literally just like rest your arms and it's like right behind you. It's like a mini little waterfall. My grandfather, my Vu, who unfortunately passed away last year in October, he would just rest his arms on whatever he was leaning on, and the water was behind him, and he was just chilling there and having a good time with his family. And I remember, this is like a really weird memory from that moment, but I remember in the public pool, I had my goggles on because I can't go underwater without my goggles, like the ones that cover the nose. I went underwater and I see everyone's like legs and like baby feet and like swimming and like everything, and I dive down and I'm swimming underwater, obviously in no one's way. I made sure that I wasn't in anyone's way, and I look on the bottom of the pool and I'm like, what is that? So it looked weird. Turns out it was a dirty diaper, and I was disgusted. And I went the opposite way. I'm like, nope, not touching that, not going near it. So went the other way. But those are some memories that I have with that trip, and I think those are the only memories I remember from that trip. So the 4th state I've been to is Massachusetts, literally like 10-15 minutes down the road from me. There we go shopping, we go to the grocery stores, we go to the mall, we travel to Mass to do basically everything, all our shopping. The only store near us is Stop and Shop that I know of, I want to say. Maybe like Sea Opera, I think. I don't know, actually I don't know about that in Massachusetts or where I am. The one near my house is Stop and Shop, and they're kind of expensive, so I avoid going there. Unless I have like a really good deal on like ice cream or like soda, then I go there. But I haven't gone there since like 2 months ago when I bought Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because it was a really good sale, and I love Ben & Jerry's. Chocolate chip cookie dough Ben & Jerry's ice cream is my favorite, and then the Friendly's watermelon sherbet is my favorite other ice cream that's not Ben & Jerry's. So Massachusetts, we do like basically everything. It's like 10-15 minutes down the street from me, which is very convenient, and I love going to Mass. The thing I go there most is the mall. I really miss going to the mall because they have like really, really good smoothies, and they have stores I love to go to, like Spencer's, Hot Topic, FYE, Newbury Comics, like those sort of stores, and I love just walking around and seeing what they have and the sales and stuff like that. But now I can't do that because of the whole quarantine thing, and places are closed, even though some places open. Like some places have been opening a little bit, but I don't think the mall will be open like anytime soon, so that sucks. So the 5th state I've been to is Maine, and that was when I was like 12. That was to visit my sister. I think it was to help her move the rest of her stuff to her college dorm in Maine, because she chose to go to a college in Maine. I don't know which college, but she went there, and then we traveled to help her move her stuff into her dorm, and it was fun because we got to see her dorm and everything, and walk around the building and whatnot, and like take photos, because like near there was like a beach or something, so that was fun. But even though she went to this Maine college for whatever she was studying, she actually switched schools, and instead of going to Maine, she switched to a college in Salem, Massachusetts, which is closer to us, and then she graduated from there. I don't know what college, but she did, and that was really fun. I honestly don't remember her graduation. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I went. I don't quite remember. I was young. I don't quite remember, but I know she switched to that school. And she switched majors too. Like she switched to everything. So the 6th state I've been to is Connecticut. I've been there for the beaches and just to walk around and stuff. Not much I don't do much in Connecticut. There was like a time where I went to the beach over there a few times with like my parents, but not much was done there. So the 7th and last state I've been to is the state I actually live in. I live in Rhode Island. My whole life we used to move every 2 years. So I would move schools every 2 years depending on like where we moved to in like house-wise and like area-wise. But I honestly don't know how many houses I've lived in, but we used to move every single 2 years because the rent used to like always like bump up, and so we had to do that. So schools, I think I've been to 3 or 4 different elementary schools, and then I went to a middle school and I stayed there because we stayed in a certain house the entire time. So either the entire time or 1 year we lived on a house on a street, but which was right down the street from that middle school, and then we moved to another house which was also down the street, so that worked out fine. But now we live in a house that my parents bought, and we couldn't be happier. We've been here since I think I was 15. I want to say 15, and it's 2020 now, so I want to say we've been here for 5 years. And it honestly does not feel like it. It feels like we've been here for like 2 years, but that's just me. So those are the 7 states that I've been to and the reasons why I went to those states, or because I live in one right now. I really hope you guys found this video interesting. I'm trying to think of ideas to throw at you and to make videos from. So if my channel is a little random, that's why. I'm still trying to find my groove in this whole YouTube channel thing, so bear with me. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day or night depending on what time you're watching this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications whenever I post, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.